Good day everybody. Today we're at Skidby Windmill on this very windy, overcast day, and it might rain, but it might not. Hopefully it won't. Well, let's see. There's Phoebe. Say hello, Phoebe.
Hello, Phoebe.
She's with us. Phoebe's already had a big walk today, so he's not with us. But we're going to go into the mill and see what there is. Sales. Cafe in the Courtyard, open Tuesday to Sunday, 10 AM to 4 PM. Got some very old agricultural things in here. Gated shed. Skidby Mill, East Yorkshire. Rules, bylaws and orders. Looks very similar to the sign we saw in Beverley that time. Very long-winded, almost nonsensical bylaws. Check out my Beverley video, it's very cool. It includes me reading out those bylaws and not making a lot of sense to me. So we've got grain winnowing machines, grain elevators, a princess model mangle and a penny farthing bicycle. All in here. Here comes Princess Elsa. That's who she is today. And there's Emma. Hello, Louise.
Oh, that's Anna.
Is that Anna, is it? Okay.
Oh, look at these. Look at the cart.
Here comes Ariana, in her own time. Potter into the museum. So we're going to look in the museum, open 10 to 12:30 and then 1 to 4:15. Adults $2.50, concessions $1.50, and children $1.25, under 5's free.
But the sales are off at the minute.
The jubbly.
You might be doing.
The Chalklands of the East Riding.
He's digging the grass.
Yeah, it's getting it ready
About the
for
geology.
planting. So you
The
can
Skidby is a big chalk
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Little windmill.
underment. That's not a word.
Windmill.
Yeah, can you see the windmill at the top?
Look, Phoebe, this is what it's like, isn't it? It's like underground. We're sitting on lots and lots of chalk at the moment.
Chalk.
This chalk block was kindly supplied by Singleton Birch Quarries. There you go, Phoebes. Nearly 100 million years ago, the land where you are standing now would have been covered by a clear, warm, shallow sea. So the sea would have been here 100 million years ago, Phoebe.
Anna, feel it.
In this sea floated minute algae called coccoliths, and as they died, their skeletons sank to the bottom and were gradually compressed to form the white porous rock which we now know as chalk.
Freeze it.
Have you got anything in your bags to help you with your investigation?
So all this, Phoebe, is lots and lots of 100 millions of years of sea creatures all smushed together.
Oh, really?
What you got, Phoebes? Phoebe's got a little adventure bag. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Sure she'll figure it out. 1 million years ago, the Humber estuary was blocked by debris carried down by streams from melting glaciers, forming a great lake at the foot of the Wolds. So you can see there where it used to be.
Can I put it in here?
It says, show your skin.
As the climate gradually warmed, Lake Humber slowly dried up, leaving behind the heavy clays of Holderness and the Vale of York. These flatlands were overlooked by the chalk hills of the Yorkshire Wolds, covered with light, thin, chalky soil. Very good. Full geology lesson. In this gallery, East Riding farmers and farmhands share with you their memories of farming during the earlier 20th century, in the days before tractors, combine harvesters, pesticides and fertilisers. This chap is preparing the land, ploughing in the fox hunting style with wooden ploughs. Hayholm Hill Hall Farm in 1921. Wow. Back-breaking work.
Lots of things. From here, there's some puzzles here. Have a try the puzzle?
Chap in here doing some scrubbing.
We can sit on the chair.
So this is a quote by Harry Dennis. A horse knew the length of a day. They had to do so many turns in a day across those fields, and them horses knew. 'Cause when you were going on the last one, you had a job to turn. They'd got their heads set for going home. Don't know if Harry was from Yorkshire, but I just assumed that he was. A team of heavy horses working at Skidby Town End Farm. There's another chap ploughing the land. Drilling turnips at Squirrel Hall Farm near Malton. Emma, this guy's drilling some turnips. What are you up to? Sowing the seed. You used to keep that drill going as hard as you could until night, said Fred Dawson.
What's this one, Ariana?
My friend Harry Dennis. When you were drilling corn or turnips, you had to have them dead straight, because everyone were looking. Bye, he's been bloody, swear word, when he put that one in. Wow. Fred Dawson. You used to keep that drill going as hard as you could until night, until it were lousing out time. There used to be lads at the end with scuttles of corn, and when you was turning, they used to be filling your drill full of corn. And if they were a bit slow at getting it in, they used to run upfield behind you, and you never used to stop. That's a bird scarer there. Dibbler. Phoebe and Ariana doing a jigsaw. So it looks like we're actually going into the windmill itself here. The story of grain to flour.
Let's go and tick it off our checklist.
Did you know? Put through the mill. To be put through an ordeal as corn is ground between stones. Oh right, it's explaining what put through the mill means. To be put through an ordeal as corn is ground between stones. Interesting. There's a little model of a windmill. And did you know, rule of thumb, to test the quality and grind of the flour, the miller would take a pinch of it between his thumb and finger. If too coarse, the flour would be ground again. Well, I didn't know that, so there you go. There's animals in here. All the good men, when they finished stacking, they would take their fork home and look after it, said Fred Dawson. There is a grease horn. The horn was filled with a mixture of fat and sand and carried in the farm worker's belt. The gritty mixture was smeared onto a piece of oak called a strickle, on which scythes and sickles could be sharpened. Clever, eh?
A mouse hiding in a pocket. What did you say? An owl. Where is it?
In the tree.
Yeah, let's take it.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wooden barn shovel. Very old weighing scale. Do you know what flour is used for? Ariana's very excited to find out. Hello. Lots to do for the kids here. So Phoebe's carrying around this little bag of activities, including that mouse. And now she's going to do some building.
So she has to show the mouse around the windmill.
Okay.
That's the instruction.
Lovely. So she's doing a jigsaw earlier. She just dressed up as a mill maid, I think it was, and now she's building a wall. Safely with a high-vis jacket on.
Ariana?
There's lots to do for kids here. What you got?
What have you found?
Oh, there's some animals around here. It's like an old press there. The pig. Basket of vegetables. It's a very good little museum, this. This chap's hard at work.
Wholesales went all over the country. Newcastle, Nottingham, and Grimsby. It'd go by barge across the river and then into Rome.
Little documentary on
We
it.
make flour here. And you probably know what we do make. And as I said, we haven't produced flour here at Skidby since 1878. But we're still in.
Some other activity. Use the blocks to build an archway. Maybe.
Well, you see,
Look at this.
in the 1870s, cheap
Very, very old telly.
and made English wheat too expensive. Well, it
Beautiful.
was much harder, and our millstones couldn't grind it. So we went into other foodstuffs instead.
40 years researchers in British and Saxon burial mounds of East Yorkshire.
Our other mills in Hull and Welton. And that's
Wow.
what these machines are for. I know they're not much to look at, but these machines are the reason
Small bits of bone there.
Skidby Mill is still here today.
John Mortimer exhibition. I guess he's a guy that wrote that book. 40 years researchers in British and Saxon burial mounds of East Yorkshire. Local historian. It's like an old sword there. Very good. So we're going up. Mind your head.
It's not on at the moment. The mill's not working at the moment because we're doing renovations. Doing some fixing.
Some very old machinery up here.
But we can look here.
Animal feeder mill. So between 2008 and 10, it had a big old restoration project you can come and read about. Keeping it going, keeping it alive. Very good. So did you know, keep your nose to the grindstone means if set incorrectly, millstones became too hot and the flour would become cooked, emitting a burning smell. Okay, occasionally, flour would burst into flames. The miller kept his nose to the grindstone to detect the temperature and condition of the meal, and because most windmills are made of wood, they could, and frequently did, burst into flames. So that's what keep your nose to the grindstone means. 3 sheets to the wind. So a for-sale windmill with only 3 of its sails covered in sheets of canvas will turn clumsily because it is off balance. That is why the term is applied to people who are drunk. There you go. Lots of etymology today. Not one I've heard before, but millstone round your neck. Millstones are very heavy, and the millstone round your neck is a problem that prevents you from doing what you want to do. Yeah. So you might think this one is self-explanatory. First come, first served. This was the law for millers in many countries. Because it could take days for a farmer to have his grist ground, the law was designed to prevent impatient customers from queue jumping. There you go. Pig. Show your metal. Millstones often needed to be dressed or recarved. When the miller hired an itinerant dresser, never heard that word before, he could tell whether the man was experienced by noting the slivers of metal or throwing off his carving tool embedded in his hands. This phrase is a variant of show your metal. This is a late 19th, early 20th century burial cart. Wooden framed 4-wheel coach sprung burial cart used for carrying coffins to funerals. Painted black with decorative leaf patterns and lines painted in white. Got me veg. Baby's got a potato. Give it to the pig. Nom 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 nom. Thank you. Very near every cottage had a pig. There wasn't very much to throw away, but what there was, pig got it. We used to kill that at back end, and of course it went through winter and a lot of it, said Harry Dennis. Crows, we used to get them. Young crow in spring, crow pie, it were good. Then there was the odd pheasant and partridge knocking about. Pigeons, out that was eatable we used to get. said Harry Dennis. Village shops were a 19th century innovation, which developed as a result of mass production of packaged foods. Before this, villagers bought goods from travelling peddlers. Growing up at Skidby Windmill.
Show your metal millstone.
Skidby ladies at a strawberry tea in 1930. Ben Thompson is seated on the far right.
The miller hired somebody dressed there. He could tell whether the man
Thompson children carrying water during a drought at Skidby. Ooh. A group of elderly villagers in 1930.
So this is what
Benjamin Thompson and his second wife Minnie lived at the mill house in Skidby. They had 6 children: Barbara, Annie, Joseph, Eric, Janet and Kathleen. Joseph and Janet helped with the preparation of this exhibition. Wow. The mill house in those days had no electricity, no water laid on. We had an outside toilet set well away from the house. In the winter time it was a journey he didn't wish to take with a flickering candle. I bet it wasn't. Phoebe's washing some clothes now.
all right. And then we can hang them out to dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All nice and clean now.
Big families always used to have 1 or 2 off if they were to do. They couldn't afford any other way. If you only bought 1 or 2 shillings a weekend, it were 1 or 2 shillings. Make do. So Phoebe had to find a load of animals hiding in various places around, and I found the mouse. And I'm very pleased with myself. Look at this guy. Run of the mill, the ordinary daily grind. Using different pulleys, we can make things easier to lift. Pull on the toggles and see which sack is easier to lift. Give it a go.
I put the hose pipe.
Finished off with a pretzel and peanut butter slice. Classic cherry bakewell for Emma. And these two are sharing a brownie. Is it nice?
Yes.
Good.